as a person who has made an amazing difference in the association, I would really like to get your input about what it is about us that enables you to support us so much. So, can you tell me a little bit about your Histio story?
Yeah, I mean, my story started more than 20 years ago, actually. My then 7-year-old was unwell. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with him, normal story. Eventually, after many, many months, he was diagnosed as having Langhans cell histiocytosis, which obviously I had no idea what it was. I couldn't find anybody to tell me anything about it because nobody else knew anything about it. And I was living in England at this point, and eventually, after a few months, I plucked up the courage to give you a call, Jeff, and called you one day. And we had a long conversation, and you were the first person I'd spoken to who actually could tell me anything about the disease. And you were a lifesaver, literally. I mean, I was just, because I think most people, maybe not so much now, but 20 plus years ago, it was the most isolating experience of my life because nobody could tell me what was going on. And that was very, very tough.
That's a common response that families will say they felt alone.
Yes.
With this, and for me, it's a great opportunity to talk with people because I went through that myself.
Well, you did,
so
yes.
I understand. What is it about the association that causes you to support our work?
It's a number of things. One, I've seen in the years that I've been involved such incredible progress. I mean, when Tom was diagnosed, the prognosis was very poor, whereas now it's very, very different. And that's 100% down to the work that's been done by the association. It's not coming from anywhere else. And so I feel like the money we donate is very well spent. It is very carefully, the projects that you support are very carefully determined, and I've seen huge progress in a relatively short time. And I feel like the kids that are diagnosed today have a very different prognosis to the one we were given when Tom was diagnosed. So, and that's incredible, just incredible.
So, Susanna, you've had a chance to attend some meetings where there was physicians involved and board members. Did that cause an excitement that?
Yes.
You tell me how that made you feel?
Well, I remember when Tom was diagnosed, probably the single most shattering aspect of that whole period, which was a terrible time in my life, was this idea of it being an orphan disease. That it still makes me want to start crying now, because that idea that nobody was doing any research, nobody really cared that my child was so sick. It's like, there was just like, and then finding that there are you guys who are doing research on it is really incredible. And meeting physicians who've spent their whole lives researching it, that is hugely rewarding for a parent to realize there are people out there who actually are trying to fix it and actually are trying to come up with better treatments, and so it doesn't have to be so shattering for other kids and families. Yeah, and we're forever grateful to you, Jeff. You have no idea how grateful you were. Literally a lifesaver when I called you all those years ago, and you picked up the phone, and it was just to talk to somebody who it was amazing.
Well, I'm glad I could help. I know how important that is because I've been through it.
Yeah. It took me weeks and weeks to actually pluck up the courage to call you. But afterwards, I was like, I should have done this months ago, because it's just, you're so lost otherwise. And I'm sure Tom would be very much appreciative as well, as he's now 28 and a 7th grade teacher for his sins. I can't imagine why he wants to do that, but he is and he loves it.
As you know, it's the commitment of families and patients like you that enable us to do what we do. So again, let me thank you for that. So as you know, we have a new executive director, Yana Fournier. Yana has come to the association, and I'm very excited about the future. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, you're due retirement. You've put so many years into this, but we're going to miss you. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure it'll go on because it seems to have a sort of critical mass now that it will continue to expand and, you know, help support the families and fund the research, which we all need desperately.
So again, Susanna, thank you so much for joining us on Giving Tuesday, and your excitement for our future and your commitment to the association is just a great value to us. Again, thank you.